What's up everybody, my name is Lily Thompson. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you guys a house hacking hurdle that most real estate investors are not telling you about. House hacking is a wonderful strategy that you can use to drastically reduce your living expenses, get into a property with a low down payment, and get started with your real estate investing journey. I found a property that I wanted to house hack on November 17th, and while I thought I was completely prepared for everything that was going to come at me, this closing ended up taking 89 days. That's right, it went from November 17th all the way to February 13th because of one huge hurdle. On the county records, this property is listed as a single family home, and so that's what we wanted the appraiser to qualify it as. But when the appraiser got there, he determined that it was a duplex because there were separate utilities, separate entrances, etc. And while at first I didn't think that would be a problem, my lender found out that there was an FHA guideline that said if you have a non-occupying cosigner on a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, rather than putting down 3.5%, you had to put down 25%. The reason that I wanted to have my parents co-sign on this loan for me was that so they could boost my debt to income ratio a little bit, which would allow me to qualify for a larger property. So while I had all of the money for my down payment, my reserves, my closing costs, etc., my parents didn't put any money into the deal. They just co-signed on the loan for me to help me qualify from a bank standpoint. This is something that I see a lot of young people who are house hacking needing to do. It's a great opportunity if you have someone who trusts you, if you have the cash and all you need from them is a signature and they're assured that you have enough funds in reserves and you have a good enough income from your job that you can make payments if it takes you a couple of months to fill your vacancies. So the first thing that my lender wanted to try was to see if we could get another appraiser who would classify the property as a single family residence. We submitted documents from the county showing that it was zoned as a single family. We gave information about the property, how there's a door at the bottom of the staircase, which if you leave that open, the property can function just as one home. If you close it and lock it, then it can function as two separate properties. If you guys want to see a tour of the house so you can understand what I'm talking about a little better, you can see that video right here. The second appraiser looked at the county records, looked at the zoning, and classified the property as a single family residence. We thought we were good to go. But when the loan got submitted to underwriting and went to the FHA review board, they looked at both the first and second appraisal and decided that they agreed with the first guy that they were going to classify the property as a duplex and that we would have to put down 25% rather than the 3.5%. Luckily, I had a financing contingency in my contract which said that if I couldn't find financing that I thought was reasonable, then I could back out of the contract and receive back my earnest money. But we were already over 2 months into this process and I really didn't want to back out of this property, and so we asked the FHA review board what we had to do in order to get this property classified as a single family residence, and they came back with 2 requirements. The first was that we had to combine at least one of the utilities. Since water, gas, and electric were all separate, they couldn't reasonably classify this as a single family home, and so we decided the simplest one to connect would be the electric meter. The second requirement that they had was that we had to remove the upstairs kitchen, which basically meant we had to turn that kitchen into a laundry room with a sink. Luckily, the refrigerator was not in yet, and so the 2 appliances that we had to remove were the oven. We had to cap the gas line in the oven and wheel that bad boy into another room, as well as remove the dishwasher. Doing all of that cost me $1,000 to combine the electric meters and remove the kitchen, but I put it down as a closing cost as something that I had to do to get the deal done. The sellers were super willing to work with me as they wanted to get the deal done as well, and I had built up a good rapport with them, keeping them in contact, letting them know exactly what was going on through the whole process. And so we got the contractors on site super quick to get those 2 things done. The appraiser came out the next day, took pictures, verified that we'd done all the work, and submitted those images and his report to the FHA review board. They gave it the check mark of approval, and in less than 48 hours, we were closing. Now, it's also good to note that I used down payment assistance from my state for this purchase. All 50 states have down payment assistance programs where the state will give you the down payment that you need in order to purchase the house. So even though I could have paid the down payment myself, I decided why not take free money? It's a gift that I don't have to pay back. It only came with a tiny bit of a higher interest rate, and it was pretty sweet to see a check from the state at closing in my name that I could use to pay the down payment with, as well as keep the money that I'd saved up for a down payment and use it to just increase my reserve. So that's why it took 89 days for me to close on my first house hack. I recommend that if you have a non-occupant co-signer, maybe an investor who's going to put up the down payment for you, you're going to live in the house, manage the tenants, or maybe one of your parents is going to help you out to qualify the loan. If you have somebody who's co-signing for you but not planning to live in the house, you got to be aware of this requirement. I recommend that you find maybe a duplex like mine that can easily be converted into something that qualifies as a single family, or find something with a mother-in-law suite or a garage apartment that is still classified as a single family, so you don't have to put down 25% and you can still get by with your 3.5%. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to check out more videos, you can see an in-depth guide I did here on how to house hack your first property, as well as check out a tour of my new duplex. Let me know what you guys think, and until next time, peace.